Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Chris McGee, Derek Fisher, big game, J.Worthy, Mike Trudell out in Miami. The Lakers win their 8th straight game, 11 of 12, and the cards were stacked against them going into tonight. They arrived at 5:30 in the morning from Houston. According to JJ, the team met before the coaches even walked in to the locker room last night. They all wanted to play, even though we thought multiple guys would be sitting. But when you're on a heater like this Laker team, and you have a belief like this Laker team does right now in what they're doing, and you can go, you play. And that's exactly what they did. We're going to talk about the win streak. We're going to talk about how impressive this win was. We'll talk about LeBron's 124th triple-double and doing it at age 41. But you got to start with, in my opinion, he better be in the top 2 to 3 of the MVP race, or I don't know what. Because what he's been doing, Fish, is absolutely ridiculous. And James, he is the best closer in basketball right now. And over the last 9 games, he's averaging 41 points per game. That's his third 60-point game of his career. He had 20 in the fourth quarter. And the team just knows now. Here's the recipe. You get to the fourth quarter, and it's close, or we have a lead, Luka is going to take us home. And that's what's happening.
Yeah, with no question. I mean,
by the way, I'm fired up, if you can't tell.
You are, and we all are. I mean, historically, the Lakers have had clutch players. You know, Kareem with the sky hook, Magic with his play, Kobe, Shaq, Fish hitting 0.4. We've had, but I don't think we've ever seen one as consistent and as dominant as Luka Doncic. The way he controls the game with the ball in his hand, and a shot maker. Like, he's a shot maker, Geeter, from anywhere, and he's really good at drawing fouls too. So just a solid performance by the team, but Luka, and starting in the second quarter and what he was able to produce and get this team going. Also, I mean, LeBron didn't maybe miss too many shots tonight either, but 60, and you say this is his
third 60-point game of his career.
Yeah. Fish, take it. That's all I
and Fish, he's averaging 41 during this win streak, this 8-game win streak.
Over the summer, I think Luka was on the cover of Men's Health or something, you know, and a lot of the conversation around the new Luka in great shape. It might be the best condition he's ever been in. How will it impact his game? What will look different? What will look the same? And I think the verdict is in that starting the season in great shape, healthy, fit, it's really allowing him at this point in the calendar to arguably be playing his best basketball and not almost looking like he's running out of gas and leaking oil going into the postseason. He's peaking at a time where the team needs it. And some of the individual shot making, like James said, he makes it look easy, but it's hard to describe how difficult the things that he's doing offensively really are to accomplish in an NBA basketball game against other world-class players. And he's making it look really easy.
Yeah, and what else is difficult is 60-point games in the NBA. Wilt did it 32 times, Kobe Bean 6, MJ 4, Dame Lillard 5, James Harden 4, Elgin 3, and now Luka 3, his first with the Lakers. And James, in this win streak, during this win streak of 8 games, averaging 41 points, but like you said, also the way he's doing it. Complete control of the game, getting others involved. Other guys are on heaters as well. But he's also deserves a lot of credit for what he's done defensively. Taking charges, steals, stopping ball. And JJ mentioned this in the pregame show. That's been the biggest difference with this team. And you got to throw Luka in there. And he is playing at an MVP-type level. I'm not taking anything away from SGA, from Jokic. Guys have had great years. Cade Cunningham, unfortunately, we know he's going to be out for a while. Jaylen Brown. But put Luka in the conversation, James, right now, because he deserves it.
Without question. I don't, you know, all the others that you've mentioned who are possible MVP candidates, I don't think they've been doing it quite like Luka's been doing it in this stage that he's been in, Guido. After the All-Star break, when the Lakers decided that they wanted to come together, be healthy, and started to play as a team, I don't think anybody's been as dominant as he has. 40 points, 50% shooting, 42 from 3.
This is high volume 3.
That's high volume, and we're talking about threes that are extremely difficult, fading away with hands in your face, almost falling on the first.
Believe they can get this done. Like, and when I say this, it means like actually win a title. Like, that's what this decision tonight communicates to everyone else. It communicates it internally with their own group, but like they sense that there's a moment and an opportunity to like let it be known that we feel like we can be the best team in the world. And so they do deserve a lot of credit for it. Some of it, the point I wanted to make with Luka that now also applies to the team. When you put on that uniform, you have to want the pressure that comes with championship or nothing. You have to actually embrace that and feel comfortable in that environment. And I think they have a group with a handful of guys that have been here for a few years and been through some ups and downs and some key additions at the right time. There's a group that really, in the locker room, this group feels like when healthy and when everybody's committed to all the things that they practice and want to be, they can beat anybody. And so they're going out on the floor and trying to show that right now.
I agree 100%. I mean, when you look at LeBron's experience in the NBA, he's won 4. So he knows, he has that, you know, ability to understand what it's like. Luka's been to the finals, lost. Those are 2 players that right there, they know what it's like to achieve something. Then you have Austin Reaves, who's, you know, +1 handicap, disciplined. He's locked in. He wants to win. And you got Ayton, who has something to prove.
Been to a finals.
He has, but he has something to prove as a personal player, that he was looking in the mirror. And so when you have, you know, that collection of thoughts, and you know, it's just nice to have a mentality of guys who are searching for something good that they can hang on to. And I think they found it. I mean, look, you got Oklahoma, you got the Spurs, you got Denver. Okay, that's fine. But now they're emerging as a team that, hey, we can play with those guys.
We're in the conversation.
We can play with them.
Yep.
We have superstar players. We have good role players now. We're healthy. Coaching staff is supporting us, and we're peaking at the right time right here in March.
Love what you guys had to say. I do want to talk about LeBron, which we will after we hear from him later in the show, because his brilliance, his stat line over the last 2 games, his 124th triple-double, and doing it at 41 years old. Incredible. But it's time to hear from Coach J.J. Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
JJ, we all knew the circumstances, the quick turnaround and everything. What does it say for Luka to still have that kind of a night in the circumstances?
You know, it was a superhero performance. I thought him there in the second quarter really did a nice job. The group that started, obviously, the second half that got us the lead was great. But he just, I mean, he made big shots. He made tough shots. Made a lot of right reads. You know, it's when he gets it going like that, it's some of it is you just kind of like let him go. And his teammates felt that. They saw that. You know, we looked for some advantages in some places. The horns chin clear that we ran for the off-ball 3 was just a big-time screen from DA, a big-time pass from LeBron, and a big-time shot from Luka. I thought, you know, that was one of the bigger buckets he had. But then he had, you know, the crazy step-back 3 in front of their bench. I mean, you just go down the list. The shot making was unreal tonight.
Luka's led the league in scoring most of the season, but if you asked him in December or January, he said several times that he didn't feel like he was playing his best ball yet. What has stood out to you about this shift over the, you know, not just scoring more, winning more games, defending better, like all of this, what we've seen from him over the last month and a half or so?
Yeah, I think it's been longer than that. I think, you know, the stretch there in December after he had, you know, returned to the team, missed a couple games, you know, the travel and all that. It took a lot out of him. You know, I think he has been elite now for more than 6 weeks. I think he's been playing great. I think some of it too is just being clear-headed. You know, with all the place, and he typically performs at his best when he's clear-headed, and that's what we've spent a lot of the season trying to get to, not just for him but for all our guys.
After you said Luka should be more prominently featured in the MVP conversation, he had the type of performance that had the entire Miami crowd chanting MVP. Why do you think he's not more prominently featured in that conversation?
Because he complains to the refs. I don't know.
JJ, sometimes when you have a guy who is a scorer, who's ball dominant and stuff like that, it can maybe alienate teammates. Tonight, especially here recently over the last, I don't know, this feels like maybe like 2 months, like all hands kind of pulling in the same direction in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
What did you make of his teammates' reaction to tonight? And was there anything, I mean, I'm sure you probably heard that groan after he missed that first free throw.
Yeah, he missed it on purpose. Just to build the drama.
Nice.
No, I don't know. We saw this last night when he closed the Rockets out. His teammates have been, they're enjoying it probably just as much as he is right now. It's a special run that he's on, and we've seen all-time greats like him go on these runs, and you just kind of got to embrace it and enjoy the moment. We're whatever we are, 20 games over 500, and obviously he's missed time, LeBron's missed time, AR's missed time. He's to the MVP point, like we would not be anywhere near in the position we're in without him having the season that he's having. He's just, and particularly of late, he's dominating right now.
JJ, you said pregame that it takes a lot of work to get to this point, and you sort of just left it there. But you know what the narratives were a couple of months ago, that this wasn't a championship team and couldn't contend. And was there just a point where this group just got tired of seeing dirt kicked on it? Like, what was it that sort of just steeled this group, if you will?
Those are external expectations. That's external noise. That's not something that I think we emphasize or talk about. Our mindset since day one is to continue to get better, to continue to build our habits, continue to connect as teammates and coaches. Maybe it's the injuries. Maybe it's I've mentioned this before, how loud our losses are sometimes. That's what an 82-game season is. I remember when I was working in media, Paul George said something about the Clippers, like we don't know what our identity is, or we lost our identity. And it's like, yeah, that happens to nearly every team 4 or 5 times a season. We felt like we had an identity to start the year. There was a lot of interruptions. I told you guys a few weeks ago I was confident that this group would get to a good place. I think we're in a good place. I don't care if you call us championship contenders or not championship contenders. It doesn't matter to me. That's not going to change how I approach coaching this team, and it's not going to change how our players are playing right now.
Doesn't matter. He passes who?
D'Angelo is the all-time single-season record holder now in Laker history, but we just had a lot of other stuff going on, so.
Yeah, scoring 60 normally helps you move up a few lists.
It does. When you have 9 threes, you gotta keep going.
That helps.
LeBron James with Mike Trudell in the media.
All right, Eric Spoelstra said before the game that you're giving Father Time hell, and I suppose this is the perfect sort of back-to-back at your age, right? Get here at 5 a.m. to show that. Can you just kind of take us through the mental and physical toll of that and how you're able to pull through it?
Definitely a mental and physical toll. Obviously, we got in at the time we got in. I don't think anybody got much sleep last night. Just wanted to see how the body feel, how the mind felt. Once we all kind of got going, once I got going this afternoon, and they wanted to come in and see how the body felt after some of the routine things that I do and the treatments things that I do. And decided to give it a go. We all decided to give it a go. So that's a big. It's a big gritty win for us on the road, especially under circumstances.
I think the 10th assist to get you the triple-double was Luka's either 8th or 9th three right there in the 4th. You've had special nights like that from a scoring standpoint. What did you make of his night?
You see how we all reacted on the floor. We were super happy that he was able to get that last free throw to go to give him a 60-piece. But it was just in the flow. It wasn't even like he was trying to force his way to get it. Obviously some threes. So. it was big time, big time, big time.
Is that like peak fun basketball? You know, crunch time, it's game's tight, making shots like last night and tonight.
Yeah, I mean we got guys that's been in this situation before. When it's crunch time, you know how to make plays, what needs to be ran, you know how to slow down the team, mellow the team, and chaos. So. To be able to rely on that is very, very important for a ball club.
There's been obviously a lot said about your team. There's always a lot said about your team. But in particular, kind of the fit between yourself and Luka and Austin. Are we just seeing three smart players figure it out? Is that what we've seen just kind of over the last few weeks?
I think for us it's always been about time. You know, just haven't really had a lot of time to actually put in the work on the floor with one another. You know, obviously we had a little bit of last year, but Luka was just getting to the team, you know, trying to get comfortable with what we wanted to do. We were all trying to get comfortable with what all three of us wanted to do. I'll start the year not in the lineup. AR had a moment where he was out, you know, so it's just like, just trying to figure it out, you know. And then I was out a couple weeks ago and was able to come back and see how I can best fit those guys because they were just playing so dynamic off one another. So, it sells papers a lot easier and clippings and podcasts if you say LeBron, their team is better off without him. It's a lot of people will try to view it, so I get it. They're absolutely wrong.
Can you talk about the evolution of performance and recovery technologies over these 23 seasons and what has been a game changer for you, something maybe you will keep using?
Obviously everything gets better. Everything. That's just evolution. It doesn't matter what it is. You can look at a phone from 23 years ago compared to now. You look at cars from 23 years ago to now. You look at everything. Everything can get better, you know, and that's modern technology has definitely helped a lot of performance and whatever the case may be. But also at the same time, a lot of things that I was doing in high school is some of the same things that I'm doing now as far as recovery. As far as stretching and icing, and the most important recovery is sleep. And things of that nature. I've been doing a lot of that, soft tissue work and things since I was in high school. So I have a routine, and obviously me and Mike, he's somewhere around here. Me and Mike has built a program over the last 22 years, and we follow that to a T. And I understand that my body is the most important, and availability is the most important when you out there with your teammates. Being out on the floor with them means a lot, and I've always taken that seriously.
How much it's been about living in the moment, but how does it hit you to tie the all-time games played record that Robert Parrish has had for 30 years in a city where it was such an important part of your career? Those 4 years you played.
Yeah, I never looked at it like that, but it is pretty cool to be, like I said, availability. I've always wanted to be available to my teammate.
You want to comment on that? Defense?
Pretty impressive, right? 5 steals not bad.
Luka, you scored 100 points in the last 23 and a half hours. I guess, obviously, we can see this day here, and I'm just curious, what's it been like experiencing it with this team and kind of the way they've celebrated it with you?
That's what's all about, You see everybody celebrating on the bench. It's it shows that we care a lot about each other, and that's what great teams do, Just makes my heart happy, seeing them celebrate my 60-point game.
Look, you've led the league in scoring most of the season, but when we asked you about your play, maybe December, January, you were saying you hadn't really been playing your best basketball. What's allowed you to get in this kind of run that you've been on the last, 2 months?
What's allowed me? It's a good question. Just trusting, my game. I know if some games I won't have it. No. I've been here. You're not going to have always great games. I've been here, so you just got to trust in yourself. I got all the support from teammates, which helps me a lot. And like I said before, that explains a lot about the team we are.
Hey, Luka, JJ said you should be included in the MVP conversation, and then you hear the entire crowd chanting MVP as you're shooting free throws. So what are your thoughts on that?
It was pretty impressive, especially away game in Miami, you hear the whole crowd chanting MVP. It was, I think every player wants to hear. So, I got a little goosebumps. So it was pretty special.
Just as a follow-up to that, are you surprised you're not more prominently included in that conversation?
It's you guys, media. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Luka, I mean, it's a difficult back-to-back, losing an hour and then, going to Miami after Houston. This could have been a game where both you, LeBron, and Austin are all out, but you guys all decide to play. What is that belief and that mentality of we can still win this game that might be kind of a quote-unquote scheduled loss?
Yeah, I mean, that was great. Obviously we didn't know if we were going to play. We ended up doing all three played. JJ mentioned this after the game. Us three were smart. We played the most minutes usually. So for us to, play, obviously we had some things going on, a lot of little things. But that's, like I always say, that explains the team, we're all in this together.
Luka, what's that? LeBron talked about it, JJ talked about it as well. What's it mean to you when, we saw it here a couple weeks ago when Bam had the 80 or 83, whatever it was, how teammates just rally around a guy when they're on one. What's that mean to you, the way your guys reacted tonight when you were 50, 55, 58, 59? What did that mean to see them all reacting the way they were?
I just said it before, it's pretty special. I got all the trust from my teammates, and that's where you feel the best. We trust each other, and that's the best feeling.
Luka, obviously the 8-game winning streak is the best you guys had all season. You've won 11 of your last 12. What was done or what was said to help you guys maintain the belief and confidence in this group, even when things weren't going as well, maybe say in December or January?
We always had confidence. I think we had a lot of injuries. It was a lot of different starting lineups, a lot of different guys playing. Once we got healthy, I think that's where we took off.
The purple and gold is Access Sportsnet Lakers. Before tip-off, our panel of experts break down the day's matchup.
He's proven to be a threat offensively. I love that little mid-range game. Very impressed.
And after the final buzzer, head back to the studio for post-game reaction, highlights, and interviews.
When you got the size advantage and skill advantage, you take over, and that's what he did tonight.
Access Sportsnet Lakers, pre- and post-game coverage on Spectrum Sportsnet.
All right, let's check out the Lakers calendar. Traveling to Central Florida Saturday for a game with the Magic. Monday, taking on the Pistons in Detroit. No Cade Cunningham for that one. From top of the East to the bottom, Pacers Wednesday to finish the road trip. Then the Nets and Wizards at home. All these games are right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Austin Reaves with 18 points. He's with Mike Trudell in the media.
Austin, 2 straight nights of crunch time and just big plays, big shots. Obviously, Luka hits a number of them. LeBron, what is that like as a teammate and kind of the high? And you've had some obviously this year as well.
It's fun to watch. The second half, especially that third quarter, we played some good basketball, and then down the stretch, they took over the game.
JJ said he thinks Luka should be featured more prominently in the MVP conversation. What are your thoughts around that?
I don't know why not. Leading the league in scoring. I've seen something. He was leading the league in a lot of things. So we're third in the West. I don't know. I couldn't see a reason of why he's not. So I don't really know. I don't think what I say is going to really matter, but he definitely should be in that conversation.
Access Sportsnet Lakers is brought to you by your Toyota.